Alright, so we're going to do another geometric book cover. This one is going to be the triangles one that we have here. It's pretty straightforward, just like the last one. I'll show you how to do it. I always start off by right-clicking to copy image, or you can save the image as, which would also be a good idea to save it into your exemplars folder because you will need to print it later. And then I'm going to go to my Photoshop, which I already have open, into File, New, set your paper size to International Paper, and click OK. I'm going to minimize this and make my paper a bit bigger. So if I go File or Edit Paste, and then do Control T. And that gives you, so that you can make the picture bigger. Hold your Shift key down so it doesn't lose proportion. And I'm going to use my little arrow keys to get it right into place. And it's mostly right. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger to fit the page and hit enter. Okay, and that's that. If I click this move arrow, I should be able to, actually I'm going to shrink this down a little bit just so it fits the paper. I'm not too worried about the proportions anymore just because it's losing some of the tips of the triangles, which we don't want. Okay, so my shapes are here. If I do a custom shape, I should have a triangle very nearby to what I was just doing. And I'm going to come up with a shape that is close to this one. Pretty close. Control T again will allow you to resize it. Now, something that I've done is my blending options are already set at 50%. So you might want to do that so that you can see through your shape, so that you can see what's underneath it. Control T again to make it the right size. And that looks pretty good to me. Okay, so I'm going to go back over here, right click, do your blending options and make it 100%, because we don't, when you put your photos in, you might not want them to be see-through like that. These photos actually look like they might be a bit see-through, but either way. Okay, so I'm going to draw another triangle. When I draw them, it's automatically making a new layer here. If your computer isn't doing that, you're going to have to go layer, new layer for every shape that you do, because otherwise it's going to make a whole bunch of shapes in one layer. Okay, I'm going to do Control T again and resize this. And you can see I'm going to hit enter. But if I right click here, I'm going to make it 50% opacity so that I can see through it, because I can't see that it's too big. Okay. And that's pretty good. I need to click this move tool again. Looks good to me. Okay, now that I've got that shape set, I can just right click and duplicate that shape a whole bunch of times. This is quite funny. They're actually not the exact same size, which is surprising. Okay, so let's go here. Just turning this one around and going to bring it down. And the way I turned it, I didn't explain that, is when I move the mouse on the corner there and it gives you that curved symbol rather than to stretch it out, then you can turn it. So this is quite funny. These actually look like they're all different sizes, which is surprising. Okay, pretty good. Keep doing that. So usually you just duplicate the shapes and they all match up, but these ones seem to be different shapes or different sizes, so I'm just adjusting them as I need to. Looks good to me. Okay, and I'm just going to carry on. Duplicate layer. Okay. Hmm. Mm-hmm. And now I'm just moving them all around and changing the sizes as I need to. Okay. This shows I'm getting there. I still have to do trunks there, 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 there. And there's some tiny little corners there as well. I might skip those. We'll see. Okay. What do I need to do now? Looks good. Okay. Just turning this one around, getting lost in my layers a little bit. Back to the Photoshop. I just took a break or paused the recording so that I could get all these shapes on here. But you can see this is my background layer, and I've got all my shapes on top of it and traced them. Now what I'm going to do is basically they did lots of images of beaches, but not in every single one. So And this one is where the text is. Okay, so this layer, I'd go and I'd blending options, change it to maybe 30%. And you might want to change the color on it. So if you want to layer properties, oh no, cancel. Blending options, you could go to color overlay. It's not letting me choose a color though, is it? It's weird. Okay, let's see. Pause. Back to Photoshop. So what I've been doing now is clicking to make the layers visible only that have a photo in them, so it's easier for me to see which photos need to go where. So for instance, that does have a photo in it. That does. That does not, because it's one of those tiny ones down in the corner. That does not have a photo. That does not have a photo. Nor does that. So I'm just making all of those invisible so I don't even have to worry about them. That does not, does not, does not, does not. So you can see the little ones that are visible are the ones that I need to put photos in. Okay, so I'm going to go File, Place, and I'm going to choose some beachy photos somewhere. Hopefully I've got a few in my folder. I'm pretty sure I do. And this one is right up at the top, I believe. If you look at that shape. It's going over that. Press Option or Alt and place it. Now what I might do to that there is never mind. Okay. What else do I need? I'm going to duplicate that. Drag it up here. Option or Alt to place it in that shape. And that looks pretty good. Okay, we need to find another couple images, and I need to be quick. I've got a minute left of recording. So let's do this one, and this one is going to go down the bottom here. Hit Enter so that you can actually move it. Option Alt. I think I want to put this one down here actually. Option Alt. Here we go. That's good, and then I'll just duplicate that one and put it over here. Option Alt. That's pretty cool. All right, what else can we do? Got a few more seconds, but anyways, you get the idea. Once I make all the other layers visible and add my text, you have your own book cover.